everybody. Welcome to 5 Minutes of Awesomism, where Peyton and I introduce you to people, places, and things that we think are really helping turn negative situations into awesomism. And today we have somebody that we're really excited about because if you know me and Peyton, you know we eat, sleep, and drink Florida State. So we actually have a player center from FSU who played on the 2013 national championship team. So we are really excited. And we're just going to let him introduce himself and tell you about himself rather than us tell, because all I'll talk about is FSU. So Bryan Stork, please tell us a little bit about yourself and just a little bit about your background.
Bryan Stork, I played center for Florida State from 2009 to 2013. Happy to say, or proud to say, I was Coach Bowden's last recruiting class, and then ended up graduating in 2013. We beat Auburn national championship. What a great year that was. Went to NFL, was able to win a Super Bowl. That was a lot of fun. Ended up in the coaching world, coached at Southern Miss, coached at ETSU, coached at the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Then now I'm ended up here in Elizabethton, Tennessee. As you can see, I'm in my workshop garage next to I call it the poop pile of wood, all the scraps we can still make stuff out of. But I'm just sitting here in my own business, BCS Sports Art. And I turned I remember one day I was drawing X's and O cards, scout cards for the look teams before practice. Like, man, if we could make money with every card we draw, we'd be really rich. So anyways, I took that and started drawing those. And I was like, one day I'm going to start drawing football art, put it on the canvas. And sure enough, I did that one year. And then I turned it into engraving, put it on wood. Then I started doing some logos and things like that people are interested in, from the Seminole head to the spear. And I really enjoy woodworking. And I found that to be very therapeutic and also profitable as well. And it's been a lot of fun to work for myself. And here I am in East Tennessee, working out of my garage, and I have no complaints. I'm in sweatpants and flip-flops in March. So life's been good, been through a lot, but I'm happy to be here and appreciate you guys having me on.
We really appreciate it. And I've seen some of your work. It's really nice. It's beautiful stuff. That's actually kind of why I started following you. I mean, obviously, if I followed every, former FSU player, that's all I'd be following. But I started following you because I really loved your work. I thought, wow, this is really creative. And Peyton does stuff. He hand paints on canvas and bags and stuff. And then we sell it. And the proceeds go to help us empower other autistic adults. Like we did buy an autistic adult a home and things like that. So, because he and his mom were homeless. And so, I just always want to encourage anybody that is listening to our podcast, if you have any kind of a talent, really sit down and try to figure out how to make that talent, even if it's just for therapy, because that's how Peyton started painting. It was during Hurricane Harvey, and we lived in Texas, and it was, just Harvey just sat over us, and it was flooding everything.
Yeah, gosh, it was terrible.
It was. And Peyton, how he didn't have a meltdown was he would just paint. And pretty soon people were asking to buy things. And the next thing you know, we now have a booth, at farmers markets, and we help bring, our, mission statement out to help turn things into awesomism. But at the same time, it's good for Peyton. So, and I saw your stuff and I was like, wow, this stuff is beautiful. So we're going to definitely buy something from you. I just haven't decided what yet because we just moved into our forever home. So I got to know where I'm going to put it.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, the sky's the limit here. I can do dang near anything. Some things are limited on size where I can fit in my machine, but I can do a lot of things manual with the plunge router. I can put things on canvas. I can do metal. I can do leather. I'm actually working on a leather pillow line right now. Haven't came out with it yet, but still figuring out the settings to get it just right. But every day I try to find something new. To do and appeal to the community of people that enjoy art, appreciate it. And, I will say that's awesome that you find a lot of peace in doing art, because I know I do too. And we can definitely relate in that way.
Yeah. So you're going to do a leather pillow?
Yeah, I'm working on it. The first one didn't come out right. So I got to get the settings right. But yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Okay, well, we'll be your first customer. So when you get that right, let us know and we will definitely purchase one. Yeah, because we are pillowaholics.
Yeah.
We really are. I mean, we love pillows in our house. And I have ADHD and GAD, general anxiety disorder. So pillows for me and Peyton are both are also very comforting because it's just that softness that you can kind of just, engulf yourself into to just relax. And sometimes it's not easy for us to relax because we work all the time too. So pillows are great. So we will definitely, I love leather stuff. So we will definitely be your first customer. Let us know when you
Yeah.
get that done. And of course,
Boom.
yeah, and of course, it has to be something FSU.
Uh-huh.
Oh, absolutely. That's all the line is right now on the leather. So yeah, just got to
Good.
do it. Got to work at it, and I just slowly make my way. Hell, I got one right here. This is a waiter's book I was working on, but I had the power turned up too high, and then my signature. I don't know if you can see that, but
Oh,
it went right through the
cool.
leather.
Nice.
So, but
Neat.
hey, you live and learn, right?
Right. Oh, that's really cool. I think it's really cool that you found this to do this because, so often people look at things that they think should just be a hobby and don't understand the positivity that can come out of it, even if it's just for mental health. That
It's been a
hobby
great
can
way to
make a
connect with
difference.
people for
Yeah.
sure. I've connected with so many people throughout my past, new people that I've never met before, and a lot of fans. It's been a great way to connect, and then some people I haven't seen in a long time, and they haven't heard from me. Every now and then, I like to send them something, say, "Hey, how you doing? Miss you," without having to say anything.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great. I love it. I love it so much. I'm really glad that we had you on. I mean, obviously, we came at it from an FSU perspective, but I really love the fact that you are offering something that we have not put out there yet in all of our podcasts, which is taking something creative and turning it into both a situation where for therapeutic, but also for a living, because autistic adults have a 75 to 85% unemployment rate. And one of the things we try to encourage autistics to do is find that one hobby that you really love and turn it into something that can really help you.
Yeah, I have a cousin that's like I told you about earlier when we were talking about the music. He can pick up anything. Uh, he's now, I think, teaching kids every day how to, do the piano, guitar, whatever it is, drums. And he does a great job of that just every day. And he's always involved in parades throughout town. And really proud to call him my cousin, that's for sure. But yeah, just taking one thing and turning something to positive, and anything people that say is negative, like you said, you can turn it into a positive. It's all about how you look at it, how you take it, and sometimes you got to get knocked in the chin or smacked on the chin a little bit and figure things out. At least from my football background, I've learned.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. And you're right. I mean, I don't think we push that enough in society anymore of, the little things can be the bigger things because of social media and all of the influencers and everything. People are looking for that recognition, and you don't need the recognition. You just need the self-reliance of something that makes you feel better.
Yeah, you got to be your best you, and if you recognize that you're not, find that thing that makes you happy somehow, some way, and before you know it, you're that much better of a person, and you feel lighter. Sometimes you're around people that feel very heavy, like big energy guy, and I think the lighter you feel, the more light you can shine on other people around. And I've been on both sides. I've been really super heavy and not shining no light, and I've been on the other side where I feel super light and able to pass on that good energy. So I try to stay on the lighter side of things now.
Yeah, and I agree. And I'm a big believer that when you're feeling like your voice isn't heard or whatever, hidden disabilities or whatever, that if you can turn that corner and start feeling better and doing better, then you're able to help other people. Like I know with Peyton is out there every day. He's got friends in the neighborhood that are on the spectrum as well. They're, his age group in their 20s. And these guys, they just kind of connect with each other because they all feel more like life is better for them because they are involved in things. And so then they can pull other people in that maybe aren't feeling that good at that time. So the more that you personally, whoever you are, find that positivity in your life, that's the way you spread it. If all you're doing, like you said, all your energy is negative, then that's all you're pushing around you, and that's all you're drawing to you.
Yeah, no doubt. It's contagious. We talked when I was a football coach, energy is contagious. If I walk out there as a football coach and I'm dragging my butt and just, all right, we're gonna do this, gonna do that, and really not hyping up the play that we're installing or whatever it is, you're not gonna sell those kids. They're not gonna feel it. They're not gonna want to do it. They're not gonna be enthused about it when they go out to practice. So definitely learn that as a football coach. You got to bring it every day as well. And that's something I definitely do miss about coaching ball. Hopefully I'll get into that soon at some point this year. I'm working on it right now, but yeah, energy is contagious. I used to always tell my players.
Yep. Yeah, we hope you definitely get into coaching because, I like people that have that kind of right spirit and want to help other people. So hopefully you'll get back into it soon. But we thank you so much for coming on. It was really nice and we really enjoyed it because it was really cool to have a complete different perspective than we've had, before. And that's what we're trying to do with this 5 minutes of awesomism. So we're trying to give people just kind of that power lift. Like, hey, maybe after they listen to the podcast, they walk out there and they're in the store and they smile at somebody, and the next thing you know, a positive thing happens. So that's what we're trying to do.
Just add on that real quick. I'd say something that's really big. I would say with God, you feel like, God, why are you putting me in this situation? Why am I in this negative, whatever the situation is? You're there for a reason. Like, it's hard to accept and it's hard to say, here, take my life. You got it. And, I'm not like a big Bible beater, but I do believe in God. Is just let him control it. And you're in that situation for a reason, whether it's negative, but something good will come out of it. Just be a little tough and push through it. Learn to grow from it is what I'm trying to say. And some people are just too quick to just give up and quit, whatever it is. And, they just feel sorry for themselves, the victim. Well, really, no, you're having a chance. There's an opportunity somewhere in this crap storm that you're in to do something good, do something positive. And I feel like every time I've turned the corner or career changes, whatever it is, I've always been in that situation. Just eventually, as I get older, I'm 35 now, I'm going to be 36 this year. Let them take care of it. You will be all right. Just every day, wake up, get your butt out of bed and go do something, go be creative, make something better out of your situation. There's no excuses, in my opinion. And whatever, people may say you have disabilities. I don't think so. I think you got more of an ability than most. And so my point is, don't let nobody put you down or don't feel like you're in a bad situation or you're never going to make it out of it, because God made you the way you are so you can be you, and your light, your energy, you can pass on to other people. You're here for a reason. If you didn't want you here, you'd be up there right now, but you're here. So make the best of it.
I completely agree. And I have to tell you, there have been times in my life where I have been so frustrated. I'm like, why, God, why did you do this? Why is this situation, please? And then I turned the corner, and then I realized that he was giving me all these signs not to push forward with something. And finally, he just had to really slam the door hard for me to listen. And then the minute I turned that corner, everything turned around. When I was growing up, my dad always told me, there is no mistakes in life as long as you learn from them, because when you learn from them, that's what it was. It was a life lesson. And I was born and raised in Christian schools. I went to Christian schools from kindergarten through college. And that was the one thing that we always really emphasized in our school, was that if you let go and you let God, it really does happen. We try to control things as humans because we think we have to. But when you say, okay, I'm good with this, it does happen. I mean, my husband and I helped a guy a few months ago. He was really struggling, and we put him up in a hotel. We gave him food. My husband took him to get a job interview, drove him, everything. And my husband's like, do you think we're doing the right thing? And I said, yeah. I said, my dad would have done that. And he said, that's all I needed to hear, because he knew my dad lived his faith. And it was kind of funny because we really stepped up for this guy. We didn't even know the guy. We just stepped up for him.
That's risky. You never know.
Exactly. And the blessings that came back to us, because I really believe that when you give from your heart, you get. And I believe that, if you do it with an ulterior motive, no. But, it's like we went to the Savannah Bananas last Saturday at Doak Campbell, and we got those tickets from one of the players because my husband got forced into early retirement. He was an oil geologist, And he got forced into early retirement after COVID because they shut down everything oil in America. And he wasn't ready to retire. And so he struggled, he went out and everybody else learned to code. He did. He learned to be an expert on the cloud and did everything he needed to do. Nobody would hire him because of his age and other things, and nobody would hire him. And so he started driving Uber, high end Uber, and doing the high end, like, reservations. And it was on Valentine's Day, and we're leaving to go somewhere. And he says, "Oh, I just got an amazing ride." We live in Ocala. He said, to Savannah, Georgia, and he had never been to Savannah, and I love Savannah. I said, "You need to take this." He said, "Yeah, but what?" I said, "No, take it." He goes, "It's Valentine's Day." I said, "I don't care. I'm not one of these people who want my husband to triple pay for a dozen roses on Valentine's Day when the next day they're 60% off. I'd rather have them 60% off." And so he's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, go." Long story short, he picked up 2 Savannah bananas. They became friends. We were at the game on Saturday, and my husband texted with them, and the guy is just like one of the nicest, sweetest, most compassionate guys. He had been a special ed teacher for a while in between his baseball career. And like, he just, oh, wow. And I texted him, his name is Frankie. I said, "Frankie, would you be willing to come on our podcast?" He goes, "Absolutely." Like, it was just so cool how you meet someone out of the clear blue, and you just don't know how much it changes your life. And
Yeah.
that's why being positive, and it, my dad always used to say, whenever I'd say, "Oh, I'm so excited about something," he'd say, "Yep, that's a God thing. That's a God thing." And I'd be like, "You're right.
Yeah,
You're right."
it was so much fun on Saturday.
Yeah, he had so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun at not only that Dove Camel, but also that Savannah Banana game.
Yeah, and to see all the FSU, it was so funny because half people are in Savannah bananas, the other half are in Florida State.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Couldn't help themselves.
because we were all dressed in FSU,
Yeah, it was satisfying to hear that FSU song. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it was so great. It was so great. There's nothing like Doak. I don't care what anybody says. There's nothing like Doak, especially when Bobby was there. Oh, before we go, I'm going to tell you quick my Bobby story. So I lived in DC, and I was flying to Dubai, and I couldn't get a direct flight from DC to Dubai. So I was really mad. So I ended up flying to Atlanta, and then Atlanta over to Dubai, which added on a lot of hours. So I get to the airport, I'm on my phone, I'm really angry because I'm just going to be like for 20 hours on flights. And I'm walking in, and I look, and there's Bobby Bowden. And I just hang up the phone on who I'm talking to, and I run over to him, and I'm like, "Bobby Bowden, I love you so much." Like, like, he looked at me like, "Oh my gosh." So he talked to me and stuff. And so, long story short, I'm calling everybody I know, and I'm saying, "Who do I love more than anybody?" And they're all saying, "Bobby Bowden." I'm like, "Yes, and he's right here." Like, I didn't even have to say Bobby Daniel. Well, he heard me, and he came over and talked to me. Long story short, I have a really good picture with Bobby and spent time with Bobby. Okay. And he said to me, "You're really quite hilarious." Because, everybody else in there, it's kind of like, "Hi, coach, how you doing?" Me, I'm like, "Bobby Bowden." Like, I was just so out of my mind that it was him. And then he says to me, "What are you doing in Washington, D.C.?" You know how he was so like honest and straight, kind of just good grandpa type. "What are you doing
Yeah.
in DC?" And I said, "Well, I happen to work for a congressman." And what's his name? I said, "I came up here because I work for a congressman." "What's his name?" he says. I said, "Tom Feeney." "Oh, I know Tom Feeney. I like Tom Feeney," he says. It was just so funny the way he said, "I know him." You know how Bobby would kind of just sit there and he's like, "I know him."
He
It
knew
was
everybody.
just
It's unbelievable. If you didn't know the name, he knew where you were from.
yeah,
He knew where
yeah,
everybody was from. It's unbelievable.
it
That's a cool
really
story.
is. Like, and he knew who he was because he said things about him to me then that, Feeney did. And I was like, wow, I mean, here's this coach, this legendary coach, paying attention to everything else.
Yeah, I think that makes a great leader too. Somebody that actually listens and doesn't just think about the next thing they're going to say while they're talking. I've seen that throughout the coaching world, and the good ones I've been around are the ones that listen. And they're very few, but the good ones listen.
Yeah, I told you I became a FSU fan when I was in college because of Bobby Bowden. And I'm 65. That's how long I've been an FSU fan, because I just adored him. I loved, his gentle approach to things. Like, I remember the time when he got mad at the players in the locker room and he said, I said to them, dadgummit. And just the way he said it, it was so great. Like, Spurrier's on the sideline throwing his visor and screaming up a blue storm, and Bobby's just, I love it. Of course, Mickey Andrews, that was a whole nother world. But no, I love so much. I think there's so many life lessons that can be learned from football too. I do.
Oh, for sure. Every day there's something new. Whether you're a coach, a player, there's always something to learn. Heck, even as a coach, I learned from my players, from our players, and just cherish the heck out of that for sure.
Yep. I love, and I think sports really brings people together. Like, I have gotten lifelong friends through that are fellow Seminole fans, and we are lifelong. We've been friends for years. And what joined us together was being FSU fans. And, we've gone through really dark times together and really positive times. One of them that I'm really close to, her son is on the spectrum as well. And we've become super close. And what tied us together wasn't the autism, it was Florida State. And then, the rest of our life just got connected together. And I just think sports is such a positivity, which is also why I wish that there were more autism sports podcasts, because I think that there's so many autistics that like sports, and I think they would find a connectivity and something to do, in a community, rather than feeling like they're sitting on the outside looking in all the time. They can be a part of that community. And
Yeah, I hope
I'd
you
like
guys
to
keep
see.
at this and keep growing it. And like you said, more sports and autism, mix it together and um, become obsessed with it. With it, whatever you're obsessed with, become obsessed with it even more, and then show other people why you're obsessed with it. And I think that brings an attraction to whatever you're doing.
I
I'm
agree.
obsessed with my woodworking, whatever I'm designing with different materials, and I just try to put it out there and show people. And sometimes I'll do some explanation videos and say why I did what I did. And some people might like it, some might not. But I do enjoy sharing it. So enjoy sharing what you take most pride in, what you enjoy doing. That'd be my best advice right there.
Thanks. And thank you so much for coming on. We've really appreciated it. And thanks for taking time out of your busy day to
Yeah.
talk to us.
Yeah, it was a miracle to have you on here, Bryan Stork.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really excited when I told him. I asked Bryan Stork, and he said he would come on. He goes, "Oh, yes." Like, he got all excited. He was like, "Yes."
That's awesome.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
Yeah,
care.
no
And
problem. Thank
remember,
you guys.
we want to be your first pillow customer.
Yeah.
I'll definitely send you guys a little care package of BCS Sports Art care package. How about that?
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Take
thank you
care.
guys.
Bye.
Go Knowles.
Yeah.
Go Knowles, go Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.